Here we go.
Big match of the night. Number 1 versus number 2. They're 1-1 against each other. Stanley Pete from Laurel, number 1. Case Dempsey from Lake Forest, number 2. The rubber match headed into the conference tournament, Stan.
Yeah, these matches matter, man. If you're 2-1 against the next best guy, you obviously get the number 1 seed. And if you got a really tough number 3 guy in the weight class, you want that number 1 seed. So these matches matter for this match, but they also matter for your individual conference seeding coming up in a few weeks. And I bet both of these guys are thinking about that. You know, they want to win for the team, but they have late February circled on their calendars as well.
24-9, Laurel leads in the dual meet. Getting to the meat of the Lake Forest order, as they're a little tougher in the upper weights. Of course, it caps off with the defending Henlopen conference champion with Joseph Baynard at heavyweight for Laurel. Yeah. Pete, conference champ last year at 138.
Yeah, Stanley Pete's been a guy who's been around for a long time. He's come up through the program. Sometimes when you see these two evenly matched guys, they spend a lot of time just kind of feeling each other out, who's going to make the mistake first, and I want to see him get after it.
Maybe a finger to the eye. Pete says he's all right. 31 seconds. And back at it. Dempsey won the first one at the Polytech tournament. And then Pete won the second one. Pete actually took in on a high crotch.
Got to finish in short time here. We're at 7 seconds. See if we're aware of it. If we're Dempsey, if we're aware of it. I love that.
2 at the buzzer for Pete.
I love that takedown late. Dempsey did a nice job trying to fight it off, but Stanley Pete was just too tough.
Pete was upset by an unranked wrestler last Friday night, but the weight class has just been. There was no moving in the weight. So Coach Zach Tobon checking the team score.
I think he was seeing who had choice based on the coin flip.
Dempsey's going to take bottom position. I'll just keep it on the other one so you get it back. I'll be able to see when you get it up.
Dempsey doing a nice job holding that master position,
right.
We call it. Come to your feet, not making any mistakes. Nice job cutting away.
2-1.
You know, as a coach, we always wanted our wrestlers trying to score late in the period. It's hard to get those points back. And if you're the defensive wrestler, you got to do everything you can to fight it off. Dempsey tried hard there.
Pete out for a short time, December and January. Injured his elbow down in Salisbury at the Parkside tournament, as you can see with the big wrap on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't appear to be a disadvantage to him, though.
No, he's wrestling tough. And he sunk an underhook there and almost pancaked Dempsey. You know, one thing I noticed is that the Lake Forest wrestlers all do a good job controlling that center.
And Pete is going to go in injury time, and he is holding that elbow. It looked like Dempsey was doing what I call an underwhip. And I guess it was on that arm, because as soon as he did it.
Yeah, he jumped up there.
Stanley Pete last year and won it by a major decision in the conference finals, and I think he used almost all his blood time.
I remember that, the nosebleeds, yeah.
Right.
You had to tape it, do tape all the way around the head, and that really limits your breathing there.
So they're adjusting his elbow gear. And we'll see what effect this has the rest of the match, Dan, because we're only halfway through the match. 2-1.
Yeah, I mean,
if he's lost any strength in that right arm, that's the one he underhooks with.
Well, and I tell you this too is if you take an injury time with the 3 minutes still to go, if you take another one, it's choice for Dempsey.
Heavy hands from both wrestlers.
Yeah.
Referee letting it go. I like that.
I like it too. It's a college-style match. Both guys getting after it.
.30 to go here in the second period. A straight on double leg by Pete. Chin whip by Dempsey. These cats are getting after it.
Yeah, Benny, that was kind of my thought process early about Lake Forest controlling the center of the mat. What I've also noticed is that those Laurel guys just sit back and kind of pull you in, and then they blast through you, and that's exactly what Stanley Pete just did right there. They're back on their heels, but then they explode right through. Nice.
7 seconds to go.
Dempsey had a
does
great
not want to
shot.
step over that. He does. And is he going to?
Good no call
down
there. That's a good no call by the official. That's a great call, holding your points. That was the right call.
Yeah, it looked like initially Pete was going to put him to his back, but Dempsey just no quitting him.
Correct. I think that was the right call. I think Dempsey had to stay on that leg and not come up to that seatbelt position. That's ultimately what got him put on that back. Now,
Pete chooses bottom position.
Yeah, Dempsey's down one here, and at some point he's going to have to think about, if I can't turn him, when do I cut him?
Underway in the third period at 150 pounds. The number 1 and number 2 wrestlers in the state in a 2-1 match. Both wrestlers have had each have had a clean shot. Pete able to finish his in the first period. Dempsey just unable to finish there at the end of the second.
Yeah, and that's what these matches come down to, Benny, is who can capitalize when you get an opportunity. You get two equally ranked guys, caliber-wise, they're really close to each other. Who can capitalize on their shot and their attempt? And you know, you watch the NCAA tournament, and you might just get one really good shot, but you have to make it count. And that's what Pete did, and that's what Dempsey's going to try to do. We're approaching a minute here. They got to start thinking about, when do I take this match to my feet? Give myself the most amount of time.
Under a minute, 59 seconds to go. Looking for a tilt here.
Yeah, we do have an arm bar here with the arm on the back. I don't know if you bail from that position.
Approaching 45. At 45 to go in the match. I think he's got to ride this out now, Dan.
Yeah, he's kind of putting himself in a
He's
little
got
bit
to look
of
for a turn.
You're not going to get two stall calls. I don't know, Benny. I think I'm cutting him here. It's easy to lay on bottom and not do anything. You're not gonna get two stall calls this late in the match. Get out, get a new start, let him up. Don't let him sit on the edge of the mat.
Under 20 to go. Dempsey looking to tilt, and they go out of bounds.
You got to let him up right now.
All right, 13 seconds to go. Got to start on your feet. Well, I think he's going to stay on the tilt.
Yeah, I mean, when you're two equally ranked guys, two same caliber, it's easy not to get turned here.
12 to go, and a stall call on bottom.
Yeah, it's just too late.
And that's going to be your final. Stanley Pete with a 2-1 decision. maintains his #1 ranking.
Yeah, he wrestled a smart match. He took his shot when he had it. He capitalized on it. And he did enough to get the win for sure.
So I think they waited in 2 here, so I think we're probably going to see Cisco Escobar